I would say happy Tuesday, everyone, but it's not so happy. It appears the crash is finally here. We thought it was going to come for a while. The bubble had to burst at one point. It looks like it's bursting now, not just on the stock side, but on crypto, on anything essentially. People are just putting their money out, it seems like. So let's talk about it. I mean, I'm not going to even show my portfolio. It's the same as you guys. It's just red all over the place. So it's like heartbreaking to look at it, but I think it will recover. So let's talk about what I'm going to do in the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks. So as usual, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence. It's just for entertainment purposes. And if you guys do like the video and the content, hit me with a subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, especially on a day like today, right? We're all feeling the same kind of pain. Okay, so what am I gonna do? I'm definitely not gonna sell. I mean, on some of my stocks, I'm already down. Some are still up. I still have equity left, like STPK and MP. CCIV, I got destroyed yesterday after the merger, just because the valuation came out a lot higher than it was going to be, and they did it after market hours, so I didn't even have a chance to sell. But it is what it is. I still think obviously it's a good company in the future. So it's if it's going to be anything like the rival to Tesla, like everybody else says it is, then it's going to be a 2 to 3 to 400 to $500 stock in the future. So what's a big deal right now? It's at 30 something bucks. Okay, I mean I think it'll recover, especially next year or heading into next year as they actually start getting revenue. They're expected to have, I think it was at what, $2 billion in revenue, whatever that amount is. Anyway, so let's talk about what I'm going to do, right? So like I said, I'm not selling. I mean, on some stocks I'm up, so I'm really down on. But this is where a lot of people made their money in the market last year in March when the crash happened. Now that crash, I think, is a lot worse than what's going to happen here. I think tech is getting destroyed, but I think for the most part, it's going to be maybe, the entire like index overall is going to be maybe down like 5-10%, something like that. And then you usually see like a big pushback. I mean, a pull forward after that, right? It's like a slingshot, right? It goes all the way down and then it just jumps right back up. But it's going to take a couple weeks, I think, on this one. I think what's going to help is the following in the future. It's going to be the stimulus checks are going to be coming out. It's going to be an extra $1,400 in families' accounts. People are going to see a lot of these opportunities, same as it was before. Let's just start pumping money into the market. Then there's going to be the vaccine possible. They were saying that everyone's going to be vaccine eligible by April, which means the regular person can get the vaccine hopefully before the end of Q2. That's good. That means people are going to start going out and about. Businesses are going to start flowing again. Cruise ships, airlines, you name it, right? Restaurants. So there's going to be a pump. I mean, look, anytime there's a market crash like this, there's always it always comes back at one point. So the key is going to be the buying opportunities. So this is what I'm going to do. I got to monitor this for the next couple of days because I don't want. It's already down a lot today, and like the trigger happy in me maybe says like, all right, start putting more money in. This is great buying opportunities. I can get STPK, MP for cheaper. I can get CCIV for cheaper if it's going to be instead of $36 stock. Like, is it going to be at $300? I can get it for super cheap. But that being said, I think the key here is to be patient because you don't know where that bottom is, and you don't want to start putting money in just because you get the fear of missing out of like, oh, what if it hit bottom and now it's on the way up. Me personally, what I'm going to let it do is let it hit bottom. I won't know when bottom is, but I'll know until it starts going back up. But I'll let it back up. I'll let it go back up a little bit, right? Not let it, actually a good amount. Take that back, a good amount, because what I don't want to happen is I hit bottom, it goes a little up, I buy, and then that wasn't bottom. There's another bottom coming. So don't get that fear that you're missing out just because you haven't hit that bottom or anything like that. I'm gonna wait. Once again, that financial advice is just what I'm doing. I'm gonna wait till it hits bottom, and I got to see it go back up for a day, 2, maybe 3 days in a row where it's constant growth on the way back, and then I'll get in. I'll add a little more. When this happened in March, I didn't have the funds to do so. I wish I would have done so. I would have been sitting pretty today, right? Like most of these people are today. That's where the investments, so many YouTubers and everybody out there, because they got in at that time, they had money at that time, they put it in, and obviously they rode a crazy wave until right now the reverse. But now those people that were down there, they either sold, locked in profits, nothing wrong with that, or it's going to go down, but they've made so much equity over the last, what is it, year, it feels like, that they have a lot of wiggle room just to let it drop and go back up, probably buy more, right? But yeah, that's just what I'm going to do. I mean, most people, just an FYI, like most people who panic sell, it never works out, especially if you're down, because then you lose, right? When you're down and you sell, you lose. So that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep you guys posted. Maybe I'll post my portfolio at the end of the day today or tomorrow, by the end of the week. Right now it's a massacre. So um, yeah, that's pretty much what I got. So as usual, guys, maybe there's first time investors out there who are seeing this and they want to get into the market. As usual, I leave a couple of links down below so you guys can get some free stocks if you open an account either in WeBull or Robinhood by depositing some money. Or if you want to get into crypto, there's a Coinbase link down there that you get $10, I think, if you deposit $100 or buy $100 worth of like Bitcoin. So those links are below. And as usual, guys, if you like the content, I would really, really appreciate it. Hit me with a subscribe button, hit me with a like button. I think what sets me apart from like the other YouTubers and a lot of people out there is like I'm just focusing on my portfolio, right? I'm just, I got 5 to 10 stocks there on any given time, and I'm just trying to grow that. I'm not trying to throw stocks at you every other day. This is a new hot stock, the penny stock is going to blow up 1,000x, whatever the hell, right? Just a regular guy trying to make it in the market, in this volatile market. And so far, I've had a lot of success, but it's a volatile market, right? But I think it's going to give really great buying opportunities for the future, in my opinion. I mean, if you look, you just look at the Nasdaq index or anything like that. Over the last 50 years, there's always dips. There's always dips. Some dips bigger than other, but you give it enough time, it always comes back. Especially if you believe in the stocks. So remember, if you're buying stocks that you don't really believe in, that's when you really lose, because when it drops, you're probably gonna want to sell because you don't know if the company's gonna bounce back or not. All the stocks that I'm in, for the most part, um, not for the most part, all of them are stocks that I believe in are going to do great in the long-term future. It's a lot of tech stocks, space stocks, energy stocks, electric vehicle stocks. These are things that are going to be booming in the future. So don't let this dip discourage you from doing that. But yeah, I'll say it one more time. If you guys like the content, please hit me with a subscribe button, and I'll keep you guys posted. And I'll come back next week, or sorry, next week, tomorrow, or and the next day, just to give you guys another update. So, see ya.